Right now, how renovations on a historic local boathouse helps keep water access open for Madisonians.
And we are tracking the chance for scattered showers and thunderstorms on Sunday. A few may be severe. We've got who's underneath the marginal risk for severe weather Sunday in the full forecast.
And we take you to a Special Olympics Wisconsin event highlighting how all of our athletes want to give it their all on all aspects of sports. Welcome to News 3 Now at 10. We have breaking news tonight. President Donald Trump orders 2,000 National Guard troops to Los Angeles to put a stop to large-scale protest in the city over his administration's immigration policies. The protests erupted on Friday and continued into Saturday. The White House criticized the state's Democratic leaders and accused them of abdicating their responsibility to protect their citizens. California Governor Gavin Newsom says the president's actions are showing chaos, so the situation can escalate. Newsom says the state has the resources necessary to bring the protest under control and does not need the National Guard. We'll continue to keep an eye on that situation, but for now, let's get a look at your first one forecast with meteorologist Blaze Keller. Blaze, another pleasant evening in southern Wisconsin.
It is, yes, and we're getting ready for those scattered showers and thunderstorms on Sunday. We've been telling you about this going into the weekend. This was the day that we're anticipating kind of the more widespread shower and thunderstorm activity. There is that marginal risk for severe weather in the green, so parts of Dane County, Jefferson County, Lafayette County, nearly all of Greene and all of Rock and Walworth counties, and a few closer to Milwaukee there underneath that marginal risk. So what does that mean in terms of how many severe thunderstorms could we see tomorrow? Well, we're looking at an isolated chance, so maybe one or two. Nothing scattered, not even numerous, and certainly not an outbreak or widespread activity. These are going to be short-lived severe thunderstorms, even if we see them, because again, this is going to be happening mainly during the late morning, early afternoon. The line of thunderstorms on Future Track isn't really together. It's kind of breaking up even across southeastern parts of Wisconsin. So if we do see a severe thunderstorm, it will likely be in the early afternoon, so a little bit sooner when normally severe weather kind of peaks, which is mid to late afternoon hours. But we can't rule out a severe thunderstorm or two that produces some hail as well as some strong winds. We're not anticipating any isolated weak tornadoes. However, that is a possibility, though those are not the greatest threat. So stay with News 3 Now. We'll, of course, keep you updated throughout the morning hours, and know that by about 5, 6, maybe as late as 7, it's all done. And then we sit underneath quiet conditions Sunday night into Monday. But it is going to be hazy because some of that smoke will be brought down. Now, we will be dealing with more showers and thunderstorms on Monday and even more rain chances towards the middle of next week. We've got details coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, sounds good, Blaze. We'll see you in just a bit. The Special Olympics Games wrapped up at UW-Whitewater earlier today. More than 1,200 athletes visited the campus just to compete. Our Tanisha Shaw spoke to a pair of athletes about the importance of the tournament right here in Wisconsin.
Wouldn't give up tennis for anything. Well, unless I hurt myself or something, but.
An intense match going into overtime Saturday. Andrew Helen and Jamie Jenks competed against each other during a tennis match at UW-Whitewater. As we know, there can only be one winner.
I fail, I'm a winner.
You like a winner?
Yeah.
Helen ended up beating Jenks by 1 point.
And I think this one I lost by 1 point also. So I'm tired, I'm ready to go home.
Even though Jamie Jenks lost, she says she still enjoys the summer games and plans to compete again next year.
I just like competing. I'm just one of those that, you know, every year you might just get better.
This is the third Special Olympics at UW-Whitewater. Hundreds of volunteers and over 1,000 of Wisconsin athletes competing in tournaments throughout the weekend.
A lot of us will tell you that we got picked on throughout school. And it's makes it very hard for us to be able to play any other sports, you know, in the regular school. And it's just, it means a lot to be able to come out and play here and show people that we're still normal. We could still do what everybody else does. Just may need a little more help.
Special Olympics here in Whitewater also host competitions for cornhole, track and field, and soccer. And as Jamie said earlier, a lot of these athletes come back year after year because this is a space where they can truly be athletic. Reporting in Whitewater, Tanisha Shaw, News 3 Now.
Keep it up, guys, and Tanisha, thank you for that story. Multiple units responded to a fire in the town of Vienna earlier today. Dane County Communications confirmed the fire occurred just before 1 p.m. and was located at the 6900 block of CTHI. There is no further update at this time, and we'll continue to keep you updated both on air and online as we gather more information. Coming up this Sunday, it's the 78th Annual Tony Awards. It's an award show that celebrates the best in theater with categories like Best Play, Musical, Actor or Actress, and so much more. This year, you can watch the ceremony right here on WISC-TV starting live at 7 Central. And tomorrow from the Lincoln Center in New York, the biggest names will come together to celebrate a year of unforgettable performances. Water sports are back in season, which means once again, many will be walking through the green and white building to get into Lake Mendota. Our Ellie La Liberté shows us one of the lake's oldest entry points and how new renovations will allow it to keep helping Madisonians enjoy the water.
For more than 100 years, there's been a place here where people from Madison could get out on the lake.
A gateway to the lake. That's how historian Don Sanford sees the Bernard Hoover Boathouse.
I've been studying the history of Lake Mendota for 40 years.
This boathouse was built in 1915 in James Madison Park and used to look, well, a little different. Charles Bernard was the original owner.
He was a boat builder.
Years later, it ended up in the hands of Harry Hoover, who expanded it.
It really was never designed, I don't think, to be here for as long as it is.
And recent renovations mean the building will be here for even longer. And the current tenants
feel really honored to celebrate that.
Don't take it for granted.
It just really brings everyone together.
The Mendota Rowing Club has called the boathouse home for more than 30 years.
It feels like a really big honor and a lot of legacy to carry forward. Just to be able to utilize this boathouse as a boathouse to continue the importance of water sports here in Madison.
The club having an anniversary of its own this year, 50 years. Heather Swan is the head coach.
This is a team sport in the biggest sense of the word.
And more than 100 years later,
it's amazing.
The building remains a gateway to the lake.
But I have a feeling that this was preserved because the people involved knew that this was an important place.
Reporting on Lake Mendota, Ellie La Liberté, News 3 Now.
Ellie, thank you. The club also held its annual Learn to Row Day. And if you're interested in checking out any of the club's programs, you can visit MendotaRowingClub.com. And this is your reminder to vote in Madison's magazine's Best of Madison competition. Voting is open from now through the end of the month. Unlike the first round of voting, you will only be able to vote once per category. You don't have to live in Madison to participate. Voting is open to anyone in Dane County and cities nearby, as well as counties like Columbia, Dodge, and Rock. So go vote right now at the link you see on your screen. And coming up next, Blaze returns with a complete look of your first one forecast. Also, more than 70 people across 7 states have been sickened due to a salmonella outbreak linked to eggs. And President Trump and Elon Musk at odds after months of support and working with one another. More on their fallout after the break. Thank you for staying with us at 10. Now, you may want to check your fridge. Dozens of people have been sickened due to a salmonella outbreak linked to a large egg recall. August Egg Company has recalled 1.7 million dozen brown cage-free and brown certified organic eggs. They were sold under multiple brand names and were sold to retailers in 9 states. Some of the retail locations they were sold in include Walmart, Safeway, and Ralph's. The CDC says at least 79 people across 7 states have fallen ill, including 21 who have been hospitalized. Fortunately, no deaths have been reported at this time. More than half of Americans are concerned about proposed Medicaid cuts. That's according to a poll released Friday by a nonpartisan health research group. The poll by KFF shows a majority of Americans fear the House GOP sweeping economic package will hurt their families' ability to obtain and afford health care. Democrats and independents are more likely to feel this way compared to Republicans and Trump supporters. But 1/3 of Republicans polled voiced concern about the legislation having a negative impact on their families. The bill would add more restrictions to Medicaid, including work requirements and checking enrollees' eligibility more often. The Congressional Budget Office estimates under the bill, Nearly 11 million people could be uninsured by 2034. Now to the battle between President Trump and the world's richest man, Elon Musk, and a new threat issued today. CBS's Ali Bauman is in New York with the latest.
Even as Elon Musk's SpaceX launched a radio satellite into orbit today, the Pentagon and NASA are pushing his competitors to speed up development of their own spacecraft, according to the Washington Post.
The U.S. can survive without almost anybody, except me.
Musk disagrees, proposing on social media last night that a new political party is needed in America, a reversal from last year when Musk spent more than $250 million backing Trump and other Republicans. Today, Trump told NBC News if Musk decides to back Democratic candidates in the next election, there will be serious consequences. Amid Thursday's brutal back and forth between Trump and Musk, Tesla stock dropped 14%, losing $150 billion in market value. Robert Pavlik is senior portfolio manager at Dakota Wealth.
So when a name like Tesla, which is widely held, goes down and loses value, it does have an impact on the index. So when the overall indice goes down, people start to move away from the stock market.
And some of Musk's most inflammatory social media attacks on the president from Thursday are no longer on his feed. Ali Bauman, CBS News, New York.
Now let's get a look at your First One forecast with the meteorologist Blaze Keller. Blaze, what should we expect?
Well, scattered showers and thunderstorms on Sunday. Again, parts of southeastern Wisconsin underneath that marginal risk for severe weather through at least the mid-afternoon hours on Sunday. Wind and hail will be the main threats. And then we see that chance for scattered showers and thunderstorms on Monday. The low pressure system that is going to bring us the showers and thunderstorms on Sunday will finally spin through the area on Monday. Because the atmosphere isn't really conducive or good for severe weather, we will likely not see any chances for a severe thunderstorm on Monday. Just hit or miss showers and thunderstorms. Winds will once again be out of the northwest, so anticipate another hazy Monday and possibly Tuesday as well. We're looking at about 1/10 to 1/4, maybe isolated spots of 1/2 inch of rain. If that broken line of storms can hold together, especially Sunday, we'll maybe pick up closer to that 1/4 to 1/2 inch of rain Sunday into Monday. We dry out briefly Tuesday before once again scattered showers and thunderstorms return Wednesday and Thursday of next week, all along what looks to be a fairly weak front. So again, not anticipating any severe weather Thursday or Wednesday of next week either. But in terms of total rain over the next 7 days, with all the chances we do have, we're looking at about a healthy 1/2 inch for most of central and southern Wisconsin. Higher amounts off towards Eau Claire, northwestern Wisconsin, Minneapolis, where you're seeing those dark blues, those purples, indicating about 1.5 inches, if not more. There's a look at your 7 and 10 day forecast. We are in the 80s starting Wednesday, and we should stay there all the way through the start of that following work week.
I'm actually heading up to Minneapolis this week, so pack the umbrella.
Wait, why?
Why? I've got just like family I'm seeing.
Oh, okay. On your weekend. I thought you were
No.
Yeah, I would pack the umbrella maybe Wednesday and Thursday. So if you're back here, you might also need the umbrella. But it does look like some of that activity is going to hold off to the Minneapolis, La Crosse area as we go into probably the middle of next week.
All right. Well, sounds good. Thank you, Blaze. Andrew Bancher joins us with the sports highlights after the break.
AmFam Championship belonged to Team Stricker. Steve and his brother-in-law, Mario Tiziani, were more than magnificent at TPC Wisconsin today. In fact, they were nearly perfect. After a shaky first round, they had their work cut out for them if they wanted to be within striking distance heading into the final round. Stricker saying Friday they would need to post a ridiculous score on Saturday, like 15 under. We picked them up on 8. Where Steve Stricker sinks one of his countless long putts, this one from 25 feet out to convert the birdie. The pair were dialed in from the start, shooting 8 under par through 9 holes. All told, the brother-in-laws buried 14 birdies and an eagle. Mario finishing up the day with a birdie on 18, and they shot, believe it or not, a field best 15 under par and entered the final round in second place, just 3 strokes back of the lead.
I think just making putts, and then, you know, he sees them go in, and then he starts to make them, and then he starts to believe, and I'm believing. It's just one of those things where that momentum continues on each and every hole, and every time you step up there, you're thinking you can make a birdie. And I know that's the way I felt, and I know Mario felt the same. It's just one of those things where you get that momentum, and in this format, you think you can birdie them all.
Wisconsin and Madison just support their people. They never disappoint. My whole family's here. Yeah, I mean, we really can't write it any better. I guess tomorrow would write it a little better.
And as for fellow Madison native Jerry Kelly, it wasn't such smooth sailing. He and Justin Leonard couldn't make up the ground that Stricker did, shooting 5 under par on the day and birdieing just once on the back 9. They are tied for 33rd place heading into the final round. And elsewhere on the course, it was Celebrity Saturday. Andy North was joined by some of the world's biggest athletes, including Mia Hamm, who is considered one of, if not the best female soccer players ever. Pro Football Hall of Famer Charles Woodson and NFL quarterback Justin Herbert were in town, playing a game that they've each grown to love, and most importantly, helping raise money for charity.
Golf can really humble you, man, in ways that, you know, you don't think you could be humbled. You know, playing on the football field is something, you know, I've done my entire life, so you know how to deal with it. But I was told that, you know, Charles, you're not good enough to be mad about golf. So.
I love coming back to the state of Wisconsin. This is the state that was there for me, a community that was there for me when my brother was really, really sick, and they didn't think twice about helping us raise money. So the opportunity to come back and give back is really important to me.
To lacrosse we go. Championship Saturday at the state track and field meet, and Verona's Nicole Repka put on a show in the 400. The future Badger won it in 54.53 seconds to go back-to-back in the event, and caps off her senior year as a state champion.
This is my second year running open events, and I haven't really had that time to run the Open 4 since freshman year. So running this time and getting to be a 2-time state champ means everything. I'm just so proud of myself, and I'm so thankful to have an amazing team and amazing coach that set me up so perfectly for the state meet.
Meanwhile, Middleton's Matthew Arnold entered the day with the fastest time in the 300 hurdles, and he'd stay at the top, winning it in 38.48 seconds. In Madison East, Jay Coleman took home 2 titles, winning both the 100 and the 1600 in the girls' wheelchair division. In Division 2, check out Trayson Thomason of Whitewater. The late push gives him the 100-meter crown by 0.02 of a second, and the senior is fired up to be the fastest man in D2. McFarland's Spencer Alf anchored the Spartans to their second straight 4x8 title, finishing first by over 8 seconds.
McFarland's just historic running culture. You know, we've had some of the best runs in the state, lots of state champions. So just being, you know, a state champion from McFarland, really getting my name, school record and stuff like that, it means the world to me.
And Mount Horeb had the need for speed in the 4x2. The Vikings ran by the competition and straight into the record book, setting a new D2 state record in a time of 1:27.11.
We knew we had it in us. From the start, we knew this race felt different coming in. We know we had one thing to prove, and that was not only to win, but put our name on the map. And I feel like we did exactly that.
We'd seen it coming, like we'd seen us in the lead, but like it didn't feel real until he crossed the finish line. And it was just like, and then I looked at the board, I saw our time, and I was like, no way.
Well, congratulations to everybody that ended up winning state. Like, that's something that can never be taken away from you.
Absolutely, and I think we may have missed just a couple of people there at the end, if I can grab this from you. That was Partyville in Division 3, and shot put Chloe Kesenich repeated as the state champion in the shot put. We've got a couple more that we can't let this go without shouting out, because Jalen, it is a huge deal to be a state champion in anything whatsoever. Jacob Sturm from Abundant Life, who won the 800 in the boys yesterday, well, he anchored for the Challengers today, and they won yet another state title. And just one more to shout out, Cambridge won the 4x2. Each of their runners bleached their hair for the state track meet, and clearly that helped because they won the 4x2 state title.
Yeah, absolutely. State track meets. I went to high school down in Illinois. It was one of the most electric events you'll ever be around. So I can only imagine, what the Wisconsin State track meet is like. There's nothing like running. Yes, it's a team sport, but it's you against yourself, really. It's you against the clock. And track is just, very few sports can really compare to it.
And that's the story of the day here across Wisconsin. Golf really the only one you could put in that category. It was a team scramble today at the AmFam second round, so a little bit different. But tomorrow it'll be back to best ball format, and Steve Stricker and Mario Tizzani are both looking to get that title. Steve Stricker won it 2 years ago. See if they can do it again.
I know you're looking forward to it because you've been out there pretty much the last couple weeks.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, well, looking forward to that coverage. Thank you, Andrew. A final check of your first one forecast is coming up after the break. All right, so Andrew's going to be back out at AmFam tomorrow. So since he's going to be back outside, what should he expect?
Scattered showers and thunderstorms. Take the umbrella. And again, if there's thunder, head indoors. We're into the mid-70s. The rain will wrap up by the mid-afternoon. We could see some severe weather across southeastern Wisconsin. Wind and hail are the main threats, and we'll keep the scattered shower and non-severe thunderstorm threat into Monday as well.
All right, well, sounds good. Coming up next is Seinfeld, and